Welcome back to my playthrough as the Republic of China. This will be part 3. Start with, you can see I already worked all the way down to get my extra technology in the tree there. With political points here on these different sections, I kind of go based on need. I think I switched to war economy. But yeah, I go based by need. Same with research after you get done with construction. Is what do I need? Do I need artillery? Do I need tanks? Do I need airplanes? Do I need navy? You can see I'm going to start working on my artillery now. Even though I'm not using like support equipment yet, I mean, you want to start building up supply so when you do use it, it can be reinforced to all your troops. You can see here we started the battle with China, and Japan has gotten involved. So, I mean, it makes it quite easy when you have Japan pushing with you. And here I'm just trying to, I don't really need to build up my communist points for the Soviet Union, but you do get a lot of benefits going through that tree. And we're also upgrading weapons. You can see I'm now also mass producing units or divisions. I think I have about 15 to 20 coming out at a time. And they slowly add up. You can see we have 56 divisions already in a short period of time. And here I'm just helping the front line, moving it along. Like I said, this was not a difficult battle with Japan being involved. And here, just encircling different divisions, cutting them off from the supply lines. Anytime you can do that, do it. It just saves a lot of time. So with being able to mass produce divisions, you don't need any special equipment to, I mean, you're just going to win by sheer numbers in the beginning. Because here it's 1938, no one's built up anything yet. I mean, technology-wise, you have like the United States and UK and things like that that are going to be really advanced, but in Japan and Germany, but the rest of the countries are all kind of behind, and I mean, it's like turkey shoots here. Yeah, I'm going to do the mass assault doctrine there. Mostly because of the population. You can see I already jumped up to 8 million in recruitable now. And my strategy is to, in this playthrough, I probably will have over 1,000 to 2,000 divisions if I can. As fast as I can produce them. I most likely will not stop producing troops. I believe it's the only way I'm going to be able to defeat the United States. One thing I do know, while going through this playthrough, I haven't finished it yet. There is definitely a need at a point for a strong navy, and that's what I've been working on now as I'm playing it. And so that's something to come into consideration, because to attack anything or to stop the United States, period, you have to build up a navy. It's going to be real hard to get a stronger navy than them. But if I can control, say, just the Pacific or just everything around Asia here, it's definitely going to help from them invading me. And then the more time I have to build that up, it's going to be easier to invade them. You can see here, China's done for. And we're able to get a good chunk of it too. Had to sacrifice a few bits here. I'm just seeing what I can get with my points. And that is that. So now you can see I have 19.5 million in recruitable population. More than enough. I mean, I'll be able to reinforce my divisions for quite a long time with that many people. And I haven't had to change any conscription rates yet either. I'm going to go down here to Nanning. The reason being is this little section has a ton of resources. Tungsten. It also has a ton of iron. And those things are going to definitely come in handy. I also want to get as much coastline as possible and prepare to take Laos there, Vietnam from France, because there is a huge amount of rubber there. And that would actually allow me to controlling rubber in this game. If you can't control oil, I would say rubber is key. I mean, if you can control a good portion of that and take that away from the United States and the UK as much as possible, they're not going to be able to build mobile infantry and etc. Here I'm just setting up some troops along the border with Japan just in case they declare on me. I believe there comes a point where they possibly can, or they're looking to, but I want my troops to be prepared with a battle plan, so if it does happen, they can attack first. Now we're just gonna wait here just a moment before we can attack. And we've launched. This battle takes a little bit longer than the last, but I mean this is something I pre-planned from the beginning when I was checking my neighbors, and this is the section of land that I desperately know I need to compete with the larger superpowers. Let's kind of let this play through here. Once this section's done, I go for Tibet to take more, and that's just to get prepared to go after the British there too. knowing that when I go to take that section of France there, all the Allies are going to jump in. But I need that section of France just for the rubber. Like I said, I want to try to control a valuable resource, or a good portion of it, because that's one resource that when you're part of communists, you're not going to have a lot of availability to. I mean, Brazil has a little bit, but I mean, you're pretty much going to be warring with everybody else that controls any of the rubber. So in later stages of the game, it's something you definitely want to have. Again, on the tech tree, a lot of it has to do with what you need, like what type of army you're going to have. And there's that. And now control all those resources, which comes in handy. So you can see I'm canceling out my trades and redoing them because I don't need to do a whole bunch anymore. Also got a good chunk of civilian factories on that one. I'm gonna get ready to do Tibet. I believe I do dual fronts on this one because I have the men now. I have the divisions. One thing you want to try to do when you are pumping out divisions is to make sure you do have enough supply of equipment where there's not a huge deficit for reinforcement also. So that's just kind of balancing that, and that's that logistics page. Just kind of keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. You want to make sure everything kind of refills in between these little micro wars that you're having. Just building some more military factories. I thought about Nepal, but the smaller state there actually has, they're quite armed actually. And smaller states are always a pain because they're able to have a lot of units in one spot, and the battles take a while, and you need a large force sometimes to close that out. And here I'm game planning. Okay, so I'm this far across. Can I take Afghanistan eventually? And Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, all those countries would be great for oil too. And it's something I plan on doing. That way I'm more self-efficient. One thing about this playthrough is Germany doesn't declare war on the Soviet Union. And Japan and us have a non-aggression pact later on here, or with the communists. So it really becomes the fascists and the communists versus the Allies. And here we're gonna go for Tibet. Poor Tibet. And Tibet has no resources whatsoever. They don't have much of anything that's worth value except the land to prepare for taking India there. Here, when these separate on which side they go, it's kind of dependent on the situation, on what's going to be most useful for you, especially when you're playing random countries. I found, unfortunately, a lot of it doesn't matter. It's all more about technology and mass producing equipment and divisions, and having as many as you can. Bhutan here, this country right here. I skipped over it, didn't even think about it until I looked at it again, and I saw that it had like 7 civilian factories and like 7 or 9 military factories. I mean, that's a big chunk there for 2 little pieces of land there. So that's definitely going to come in handy. As you can now see, I have 3 different groups here, and we're at about 170 divisions now. They start adding up quickly. Bhutan there, I mean, it actually took a lot more forces than I thought it would. One thing I did notice when I was going through this playthrough, after Tibet and everything there, is infrastructure. It gets real hard to get supplies over the mountain ranges to your troops. It's something you will definitely want to build up. I should have waited a little bit longer to build that up before I attacked France, but there's also something I had to take advantage of for the fact that Germany, let's just put all of Europe over there, is in complete chaos right now. So I'm just waiting to declare war, and that started. What's funny is Bataan starts building units and their army gets stronger at first. You can see their number starts rising there. What started with a handful of divisions there to think it was going to be easy, I end up having to move more troops over, mostly because of the supply. My troops start getting low on supplies and it's harder to supply them. So sending in fresh troops definitely helps. And you can see here I'm put a focus on Tibet's infrastructure to help get those supplies to my troops. Take that. Instead, I got a good chunk of military factories off of that. I'm now gonna I kind of risk it. I say forget Japan. I'm gonna move on. Join the faction with the Soviet Union, and I did that just so I can call them into war when I attack France here, because I'm definitely gonna need them. Here again, I want to build up as much infrastructure as I can. And I'm also, here you can see I'm building the Mountaineer Division. I'm sure you've seen, you want to have a combat width of 20 or 10. You always want it to be even. So you can fit more reserves in, or have more on the battlefield. Here we're just gonna go and get ready for Laos. Here we gotta make our front lines. Like I said, once this tips off here, I mean World War III or World War II literally begins. So before that starts, let's go ahead and call this one a video here. I know it's a little bit longer than the others, and I'll see you in part 4 when we start the war of all wars. Thanks for watching.